People say the sweetest marriages hide the darkest secrets, but I never believed that until the night I followed my husband into the backyard. For months, he gave me a strange red tea every night, smiling as if it were an act of love. I thought it was harmless until I discovered where he really went before making it and what he was bending over behind the shed. That was the moment my entire world shattered. The first night my husband gave me tea, I thought it was just love, his quiet way of showing he cared. I never imagined there was something strange about the midnight tea. At first, I didn't question it. Every night, he would bring it, warm, gentle, steaming in the same cup. Drink this, love, he would say softly, smiling, and every time I drank it, it was almost tasteless. But soon, I started to notice something odd. Every night, before making the tea, he would step outside for a few minutes. Then he would come back in, walk straight to the kitchen, and return with that same cup. But I never once saw him drink from it. One evening, after serving me, I asked, "How about yours? I have never seen you drink this tea." He smiled. "I've already had mine. This one's for you." I wanted to respond, but he leaned in, kissed my forehead, and whispered, "I love you." I smiled back. "I love you too." But that night, I didn't feel like drinking it. He noticed. His expression shifted, almost worried. He laughed a little, teased me, and somehow I still drank it. Days passed, the same routine, the same cup, the same tea, and every night he went outside first. Finally, I decided to find out what was really behind it. That night, like always, he said he was going to check the car. This time, I quietly followed. He walked towards the backyard, glancing over his shadow to be sure no one was watching. Then he bent down behind the shade. My heart pounded. I leaned forward, holding my breath. Then I saw it. I froze. "Oh my God," I whispered to myself. So this red tea wasn't ordinary. I never knew that my husband stepping out every night was because of it, and that he made sure I drank it no matter what. That night, I stood outside by the corner of the house, peeking. I saw him stretch his hand forward as if collecting something from someone. I leaned closer, trying to see, but it was too dark. Something didn't feel right. A moment later, my husband started to stand, and I quickly slipped back inside, pretending to be watching a movie. My mind raced. Who was he talking to? What did he collect? Did I even know the man I married? I tried to calm myself, but something inside whispered, "You need to find out the truth." When he finally came back inside and saw me, he quickly slipped his hand into his pocket. That was when I knew he was hiding something. He smiled lightly. "Oh, honey," he said, "I will join you soon to watch the movie. It looks interesting." I didn't respond. He walked straight into the kitchen. A few minutes later, he came out holding the same cup with the same red tea. Playfully, he said, "Here, honey, your usual tea, the one that keeps you glowing." I looked at him for a moment and said quietly, "Drink it first." His expression changed instantly. He hadn't expected that. He tried to tease me. "Oh, come on, this one's specially made for you." "I don't care," I said firmly. "I'm not drinking any tea tonight. You drink it." He said it's good for the body. "Prove it." There was silence. He stammered. I already drank mine." "When?" I snapped. "Don't play with me. You think I'm stupid? You will drink this tea right now, and then you will show me how you've been making it." He stood there, frozen, still holding the cup. Not a word came out. Sweat began to form on his forehead. The room went completely silent. Then I saw it. The tea. It started to change. The color deepened, became darker, thicker, redder. He looked at the tea, then at me. His hand began to tremble. Slowly, he turned towards the window as if he saw something waiting outside. When he returned back, his eyes were desperate. His voice changed, lower, almost breaking. "Please," he whispered, "just drink it." I didn't respond. Then he said again, softly, "Please, just this once. It's just tea, nothing more." His voice cracked. He was almost in tears. I sat there speechless. I didn't know whether to trust him or not. Should I drink it just this once, like he said? But if he's safe, why has he never drank it himself? Why does he go out first, then hide to make the tea? I took a deep breath, shook my head, and whispered, I can't drink it." His eyes trembled. "Please," he said softly, "you've known me for years. I took care of you even before we got married. Do I look like someone who could hurt you? Then why are you insisting I drink it? Why?" I snapped. "What is so special about it? Drink it yourself. Maybe then I will drink too." Then suddenly his tone changed. The man who was calm, soft, and pleading second ago changed completely. He raised his voice, sharp, furious. "Oh, because I'm begging you? Who do you think you are? You must drink it." For the first time, I saw real anger in his eyes. I leaned back a little. "So now it's a must?" "Yes," he backed. "Take this and drink now. Don't waste my time." I shook my head slowly. "Then I'm leaving this house right now." He laughed, a cold, wicked laugh. "Leave? And go where? Orphan like you, no family, no home. I made you who you are. Marrying you was a favor. You will do what I say when I say it." His words cut deep. I was speechless. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. The pain of remembering my parents, the loneliness, the struggle growing up, it broke me. Tears rolled down my face. I looked up at him and said, trembling, "Yes, I'm an orphan. Call me whatever you want. But if man fails me, God never fail, and God never will." He stared, but before he could speak, a knock came at the door. The room went silent. He froze, eyes wide with fear. His hand trembled, and the tea spilled thick, dark, dripping slowly down the cup. I saw it. My stomach turned. Was this really what I'd been drinking all along? The knock came again, softer this time. I studied my voice. "Yes, hold on, I'm coming." I moved towards the door. He shouted, "No, don't open it." The knock came once more, slow, deliberate, almost careful. Panic filled his face. I said, "Don't open the door," he yelled. But I didn't care anymore. I reached for the handle. My husband still stood there, holding the cup of tea. He had told me not to open the door, but I didn't care anymore. When I opened it, I froze. It was my uncle, the man who made my life unbearable after I lost my parents. If not for the kind stranger who helped me, I don't know where I would have been. The last time I saw him was over 15 years ago. He smiled faintly. "Jenny, how are you?" "I'm fine. Please come in." He shook his head. "No need. I didn't come to sit. I came to save you from this man who calls himself your husband. Go and pack your things. We are leaving." I just stood there, my mind blank. Should I be happy or afraid? How did he even find me? I turned to my husband. He was still holding the cup, eyes fixed on my uncle. He didn't say a word. There was something in his look I couldn't understand, but I brushed it off. Maybe leaving was better. How could I stay with a man who hides things and insists I drink what I don't understand? At least I could think clearly away from him. I went to the bathroom to pack a few things. As I zipped my bag, I heard my uncle's voice, low and firm, as if talking to my husband. "We've given you enough time," he said. "No more excuses." I froze. What did that mean? I stepped out, holding my bag. "Let's go," my uncle said softly. I hesitated, but followed him out. He opened the car door and I got in. We drove off into the quiet night. Minutes felt like hours. I looked out the window. We had driven too far from home, "Uncle, this drive is getting too long," I murmured. "Where exactly are we going?" He smiled faintly without looking at me. "We are almost there." I forced a smile. "Thank you." But deep down, I wasn't excited. Something didn't feel right. I took out my phone, maybe just to distract myself, and that was when I saw a message from my husband. It was sent 40 minutes ago. "Honey, I'm sorry I couldn't stop you from your uncle taking you. I may not have been a good husband, but your uncle is dangerous. Find a way out of that car. I will tell you everything about the Red Sea. You deserve to know the truth. If you come home and don't see me, I have left a note with my confession." My hands shook, sweat gathered on my face. He glanced at me. "Jenny, are you okay?" He pointed ahead. "We are almost there," he said. I looked up. A lonely building stood quietly ahead, half hidden by the trees. My heart sank. I couldn't stop thinking about my husband's message. "I will tell you everything about the Red Sea. If you don't see me, I will leave a note in your diary. Just find a way out of that car." My heart pounded. "Please stop the car," I said suddenly. "I need to ease myself." My uncle glanced at me. "We are almost there. I really can't hold it anymore," I insisted. He sighed, slowed down, and finally pulled over. The moment I stepped out, I moved towards the bushes, then slipped away without looking back. After what felt like forever, I finally stopped. I sat under a large tree until exhaustion slowly pulled me into sleep. Morning light woke me, confused and afraid. I wandered along a narrow path until I met a kind old farmer. I explained what I could. He listened quietly, then said softly, "You are lucky, but right now you are very far from town. I don't even know the way back," I whispered. Without hesitation, he brought out his old motorcycle. "Come, I will take you." The journey was long, longer than I expected, but he didn't drop me halfway. He took me straight home. When we arrived, I froze. People were gathered outside. Officers, neighbors, and my uncle. I froze. My stomach tightened. Something must be wrong, I whispered. The farmer stayed quietly beside me. As soon as people saw me, they began pointing, murmuring, "There she is. Imagine what happened to her husband." Innocent man, such a sad situation. A cold rush went through me. My uncle stepped forward and quietly told the officer, "There is her." He looked at me like I wasn't even human. Before I could speak, they guided me outside without asking a single question. "Uncle, why all this? Why?" I cried. Tears rolled down my cheeks. But the farmer, he didn't leave. He followed us all the way to the station. When they finally allowed him to speak to me, he hurried over. "Do you have anyone I can call?" he asked gently. I shook my head. "No, I have no one." "Then tell me how I can help," he said. I swallowed hard. "Please, go to my house. My diary is on the table. I'm sure my husband left a note, and that might be the only truth I have right now. Please, get it before anyone else does." "I'm going now," the farmer said, and rushed out. I sat there with my hands shaking, surrounded by uncertainty. What happens to my husband? Why is my uncle after me? What have I done to deserve this? All I could do was hope that the farmer reached the diary before anyone else did. I was waiting for the farmer to return with the diary. The one my husband said contained the truth about the Red Sea and why my uncle was after me. But the farmer never came back. I became restless. What happened to him? Did he run into my uncle? Was someone following him? I had no answers. One day passed, 2 days, 1 week, still nothing. No word from him. No one came to speak for me. I felt completely forgotten until my uncle walked in. "Jenny," he asked and called my name. I looked up but didn't answer. He sneered. "You think you are wise? You think you will ever amount to anything? You will end exactly where your parents ended. Nothing can stop it." My chest tightened. "Uncle, why?" I whispered. What do you gain from hurting me? Haven't I suffered enough? I grew up in your house and saw things no child should ever see. I left you, yet you still chase me. What did I ever do to you? He laughed quietly. Your father challenged me. I warned him. I told him I would erase anything connected to his name. And you are the last piece. I stared at him, trembling. He leaned forward and said, almost proudly, that red tea your husband gave you every night, I provided it. It weakens you slowly, quietly, and every night I came and made sure he kept to the time. But that last night, he broke my agreement. And when someone breaks my agreement, there are consequences. My whole body went cold. You know why I'm telling you this? He asked. I didn't respond. I couldn't. The betrayer cut deep for words. Because there is nothing you can do now, he said calmly. By tomorrow, everything connected to your family name ends. He stood to leave. But just before walking out, he pulled something from his pocket. My diary. I gasped. This was the same diary I expected a farmer to bring. He smirked. This is what you've been hoping for. Then he walked away. I was left shaking, confused, terrified. I cried until tears weren't dropping again. That night, I drifted into a restless sleep. In my dream, I saw my parents, peaceful, comforting. My mother touched my face gently and whispered, my daughter, your life will not end here. You are preserved. I woke up with tears in my eyes, but for the first time, I felt a little hope. Morning came and I was taken to court for the final judgment. The room was silent. The judge lifted his files. Then suddenly, everyone turned. A man was being pushed into the courtroom in a wheelbarrow. It was my husband. Behind him stood the old farmer, and besides them, my uncle's wife. My uncle froze completely. For the first time, he looked truly afraid. Everything he thought he controlled, everything he tried to hide, was falling apart right in front of him. The courtroom was silent. For days, everyone believed I was the one who gave my husband the red tea, the same drink that left him barely able to walk. No one knew the truth, that the tea was prepared for me. I stood there, waiting for judgment, feeling the weight of every suspicious eyes. Then something happened that froze the entire room. My husband slowly raised his trembling hand. Please, let me speak, he said. He turns to the judge, then to me, his voice unsteady. Jenny, I failed you. I allowed your uncle to influence me. I put my own interest above your life. Gasps spread across the courtroom. He continued, struggling through his tears. The night Jenny refused the red tea and stepped out of the house, her uncle grew angry. He returned with two imposing men, the kind whose presence leaves no space for resistance. They stepped forward and made sure I took the drink. Because I didn't give Jenny the tea at the exact time he instructed. After that, they left, assuming I wouldn't make it through the night. My neighbors later found me and rushed me to the hospital. He paused, breathing shakingly. Whatever the law decide, I accept it. I regret everything. I'm now living with the same pain I once planned for her. Jenny, she is innocent. She knew nothing. Everywhere was silent. My mind raced. Everything I feared was true. If I had taken that tea, it could have been me in that wheelchair or worse. Then my uncle's wife stepped forward, holding a small box. Inside were recordings, years of evidence of what her husband and his group had been doing. The judge frowned. Where did this come from? She swallowed hard. I found them in his wardrobe. A few days ago, the old farmer came to our house and begged me to speak the truth. I tried to stay silent, but I couldn't sleep. Today, I finally chose to say everything. The courtroom erupted, and she added softly, the man Jenny believed she married never paid any bride price. My husband arranged everything. He used me to deceive her. Because she had no family to question it. A heavy silence fell over the room. The judge reviewed the evidence, looked at the two men, and struck the gavel. Based on everything presented, Jenny is cleared of all accusations. As for the accused, their actions were deliberate and calculated. They will face the legal consequences. My uncle's face turned pale. My so-called husband broke down. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe. After the trial, I thanked the old farmer, the only one who stood with me when everyone else walked away. I went home with a quiet sense of peace. Troubles rose like a flood, but my Creator lifted a standard against them. Those who dug a pit for me ended up falling into it themselves. A few days later, someone knocked at my door. It was the farmer, holding an envelope. "A supporter heard your story," he said. "They want to help you start again." Inside was a house deed and funds to build a new life. Tears of joy filled my eyes. Weeks passed. The farmer's first son, a quiet, respectful man, began checking on me often. With time, we grew closer. Years later, I married him. We have 3 beautiful children, living in peace, in a home built on truth. As for my uncle and the man I thought was my husband, they faded into the past, each facing the full weight of the law. In the end, every secret fell apart. Every tribe failed, and Jenny rose into the life meant for her. Her tears became strength, her pain became victory, and her story became a reminder. No darkness can stop a destiny protected by God. Evil may hide for a while, but truth always found its voice. Never ignore your instincts. They are often God's first warning. Family is not always blood. Sometimes strangers become your real helper. What is done in secret will eventually come to light. Those who dig a pit for others will one day fall into it themselves. Your past pain cannot stop your destiny when God is on your side. Real love protects. It never hides danger behind kindness. No matter how dark life becomes, a new beginning is always possible. Thank you for watching this story. Hi besties, what moral lesson did you learn from this story? Kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Share this story. Turn off your notification button. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring an interesting and educative story your way. Bye!